Okay, we're back, and now we're talking about the Paleogene period, which was 65 million years to 23 million years ago. So this would be between December the 25th and December the 29th. So we don't think that the dinosaurs survived the impact of that asteroid that we talked about. However, reptiles did. So reptiles did survive, and we do have reptiles today. It's just that they're much smaller. So what is it that ultimately dominated? It was the mammals. So remember, during the time of the dinosaurs, mammals were confined to be very, very small. They tended to live underground, and they tended to hibernate. So that would be ideal to be able to survive one of these catastrophes. Because if you're underground, you're protected. If you're hibernating, that means that you're not eating much food. And then when you do eat, you're such a small organism, you don't need much food in order to be able to survive. So after this catastrophe, this collision with the asteroids, the mammals come out and they begin to evolve, and they begin to dominate on land. So what advantage does a mammal have over a reptile? Okay, remember that a reptile is going to lay its eggs in sand or dirt, and then they cover them up. Well, that means that they are going to be sitting ducks for other organisms that want to come in and eat those eggs. Whereas what does a mammal do? So a mammal is going to have its eggs, and its fetuses are going to develop inside of the mammal, and then it's going to give birth to a live organism which can immediately begin to cope with its environment. If you discount humans, okay, but most animals, most mammals, when they have their babies, within hours those babies are okay and they can keep up with their mothers. So the flowering plants, we already discussed them, are dominating the land. So you're having lots of grasses are starting to develop. A grass is an example of a flowering plant. The climate is wet and warm, but then becomes dry and cool, and you have the development of the first grasses. Notice that the continents are starting to look pretty much the way they do today. But notice that North America and South America are not connected yet. Also notice that India is a continent out in the middle of the ocean, and it's starting to approach Eurasia. Okay, let's go forward to the Neogene. So the Neogene period is between 23 million years ago and today. So this is between December the 29th and December the 31st. During this time period, the Grand Canyon forms. During this time period, India collides with Asia, and the Himalayas are pushed up. During this period of time, Africa collides with Europe, and it's going to be pushing up the Alps, and then also it's going to choke off the water supply that's coming into the Mediterranean. And so the Mediterranean is going to completely dry up. It's going to evaporate. And so today there's evidence of evaporated sediments on the bottom of the Mediterranean Ocean today. But this did not last for very long, because very quickly the Atlantic Ocean ate its way through that block of rock that was choking off the Mediterranean. And so you had the world's largest waterfall for several thousand years. And it took that long for the Mediterranean to fill back up with water. Okay, let's take a break, and when we come back, let's talk about the ice ages.